am live tonight, and this is Charmaine from, I'm a healthcare worker, and I am from Limit Breakers, where we break limits. There's no limit to what you can do. And I'm a healthcare worker, a mother, I'm a wife, and also I am my own CEO. So, what that makes me a digital online entrepreneur. So, I'm here tonight with a live, and I have one amazing coach. His name is Dustin Pretty. He is an awesome person. He's a nurse. Is retired, and he's scaling in the online business. He's one of our coaches in this business, and you'll be hearing from him tonight. We both will be having a conversation. So tonight, just log in, share this live with someone. Get your notebook, get your pen and your paper, take some notes, and you can chime in the comments, type, ask your questions. We're here to answer you, and stay until the end. You don't want to miss it. And if you do, please remember to catch the replay. Share it with someone tonight. And without further ado, I'm going to have Dustin come on and join me so you can hear from him tonight.
Hey, Charmaine.
Okay. Yes, here he is. Welcome to this platform tonight. It's a pleasure to have you, Dustin.
Yes,
and introduce yourself to those who are watching you right now.
Yeah, of course. Well, thanks for having me, number one. I appreciate it. And then number two, my name is Dustin. I currently reside in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I was a nurse for 16 years, cardiac nurse, bedside nurse. So you name it, just like yourself, being a healthcare worker, working all those holidays, days, nights, 12-hour shifts, long hours, not around family much. So that's what I've been doing for the last 16 years until April of this year. I decided to walk away nursing and do this lovely business full time now.
So you heard it. He's a male, he's a nurse, and I'm sure he loved his job. But he wanted something more, and he chose to become an online CEO. And is he doing well? Yes, he is, because he's in the higher up. He's a coach. So he's training others, teaching them how they can become a successful online business owner. And that is what he's doing right now. So without further ado, I'm just going to ask, as our topic tonight, we're speaking about, as you can see on the screen, from career calling, how to turn purpose into prosperity. How to turn purpose into prosperity. So it is so surreal that, like, these things are doable. It is possible. It can happen. But in order for these things to happen, you must be ready for change. You must have a mindset for change. And if you do have a mindset for change, anything is possible. We're here tonight. And because we had a mindset for change, that's why we're here on this platform to tell someone tonight that you can do it too. Nothing is impossible, but you have to have the mindset and ready for something new. And because of that, it can happen. So for someone who would say from purpose versus paycheck, because some people think about, like, okay, their purpose, but they think about, okay, I can't do this, I can't do it, I got to think about my paycheck. What would you say to someone, how many people work for just security, instead of, like, okay, they have something that they can build a legacy?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good question, right? I think most of us are taught to go to school, right? Get a career, get a degree, just like I did, whether it's a degree, whether it's a master's, and then find a career or find a job, right? Because it's that job security, it's that paycheck that comes in every 2 weeks. You know that you're going to get it, right? So it's that comfort zone. Being an entrepreneur and being your own boss, you're kind of stepping outside your comfort zone, right? And when you do that, obviously there's that growth and that potential further ahead for you to achieve. For me and for likely like yourself, yes, we got those paychecks every 2 weeks. We'd expect a paycheck, but going into entrepreneurship, you are your own boss. You get to set your own hours. You get to go into work when you choose to. You don't have to work when you don't want to. That's the beauty of the business, right? So sometimes I feel like there are people out there who don't know their own ability or their own capabilities, right? Or what they deserve as an individual. And I think once you kind of lean into your purpose and lean into what you're meant to do, more so than just your career, then there's so much more potential out there. But obviously it takes a lot to move outside your comfort zone.
And you're right, out of your comfort zone, because you have to be uncomfortable to be comfortable. Like
Right.
the things that makes us comfortable, it doesn't grow us.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Mm-hmm.
no growth in that. There's no growth in that. Like you look at, okay, you can say like the difference between doing what pays you, what pays the bills, versus what fuels your purpose. Right?
Right.
What fuels your purpose? Like some people just say, okay, I just want to pay the light, I want to pay the mortgage, I want to pay my car notes, but then it's done. What fuels your purpose that keeps you going?
Right.
And that I
Yeah.
would say to someone that is very important for you to find what fuels your purpose, because that's the only thing that's going to keep you going. Because if you're just living like from day to day with no purpose, there's no sense in that, because there's no growth, there's no elevation, there's not there you're not building anything when you do that. So what
Mm-hmm.
would you say to someone, coach, about that? Like someone who is just doing what they're doing just to pay the bills alone, but they're not doing anything that fuels their purpose. Like people want to travel, they want to be able to live life on their own terms, be able to set their own schedule, but they're not doing the thing that will allow them to live the life that they desire to live.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think number one is just the reflecting, right? I think reflection inwards to see if that's actually what you want to do, right? Some people are totally okay with living that paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, or just going into work and then after work, they're okay with that lifestyle, right? And that job security. So sometimes there are those people, though, which is 95% of people out there, who are looking for something more than just that 9 to 5 job. We know right now that everything is getting more expensive. We know right now that everybody is getting older. Pension is creeping up, right? Retirement is creeping up. So, but at the end of the day, what do you have when you hit 65? When you hit 67, is there that nest egg that is ready for you? Or realistically, do you want to wait till you're 67 or 69 to live in the now? And that is the thing, right? So finding your purpose and finding truly what you're meant to do on this earth. Is it just a 9 to 5? Is it more than just that 9 to 5, right? So it's really looking inwards to find out what you really want with your life. And then once you have those goals and those ambitions, then go for it. So for those people out there, sometimes they're not even looking for an online job, or sorry, online business. They're not even looking for that, right? Sometimes it just comes across their feed. It looks so good. It's something they actually want to do. And they're like, hey, this is something that I can see myself doing. And then they jump into it. I know when I came across this business 6 years ago, I wasn't really looking, in the online space for something. I knew I wanted something more because I was working that 9 to 5. I was going to school. I was around family. I was exhausted, depressed, all those things, you name it. And then unfortunately, I lost my dad, right? And that was a big eye opener for me, knowing life is short, right? Life really is short. And so, you wake up one day, you have the people around you that you love, and then you wake up the next and they could be gone. So it's like enjoying while those people are around. And so for me, that was my thing, where I'm like, hey, now, I need something more than just this 9 to 5. And that's when I came in and I was like, yeah, I really want to do this business. I want to do something more. And I just jumped in and figured it out along the way, because sometimes we don't know what to expect along the way. That's like going to school for, let's say, nursing, or going to school for a master's degree. We don't know what to expect along the way. We're just kind of going through the motion, but you figure it out along the way, right? And then sometimes you find your purpose, right, along the way. And that is the beauty of growth, right? That's the beauty of jumping into the unknown, because then you find your growth along the way, and then you're like, haha, yeah, this is for me. This is where I want to go. This is where I want to be. So that's what I love.
Definitely. And also, and purpose also can lead you to new opportunities.
Right.
Because what happened is that there are so many opportunities out there, but as you said, as you take that step, that you move forward, you take yourself out of the zone where you're saying, oh, I can't, and you try and you can, and you make that move, that first step. It opens so many doors, so many up doors you never think would have opened if you had never taken those opportunities. And that has happened to so many of us, even in this community. You see where people are just basking in so many opportunities now that they never ever think, dream, thought, or imagine that would ever happen to them. But just because they're stepping into their purpose, it leads to so many new opportunities for them. And I know you can attest to that also.
Yeah, I can, right? I mean, totally like what you just talked about, right? I did not expect to have this sort of lifestyle that I'm living right now. I didn't expect to be where I am, and how surreal it can be. And, being 39, turning 40 this year, this month, there's so much more ahead of me, right? Because of, like you said, you find your purpose, you find your drive, you find you're stepping outside your comfort zone. And there is more than just the 9 to 5, nursing job that I was working. And this business has given me so much more. It's giving me the purpose to travel. It's given me more time and opportunity with my family, especially with my mom when I lost my dad. So it's not only the financial freedom that this business is giving us, it's giving us the time freedom, and time you really can't take back. I think that's the drive. Yeah, the money is amazing and the money is great because of the business that we're in. But when you have that time freedom to do what you choose to do and be around the people who care and love you the most, then money realistically doesn't mean anything. And that is what I love about this business. And so, that'll trump anything at any day is the time that I have with people that I care for the most. And I think that is the ambition and the drive that a lot of people are looking for. You have those parents, those moms, those individuals, they want to be at home more often with their kids. They want to be able to do the day in and day out activities with their kids, right? No mom wants to sit there and be like, listen to their kid being like, are you going to work today? Or when can you spend time with me? Because we always have to. We have a career that we have to work, right, to pay the bills, to get the income. So, at the end of the day, though, there are options and opportunities out there, like a side hustle, right, an online business, to be able to help support you when you are working a 9 to 5. And then at some time, as it goes on, when it comes to growth and you're moving up in the business, you're able to walk away from your career and replace it, right? Like a lot of people are. I was able to do that. And so now you're focusing on the things that matter the most. I think you muted yourself.
Yeah, you are focusing now on the things that really matters, the things that are relevant, not irrelevant. So you think about the things that are relevant, the things that allow you to grow, the things that allow you to just be you and to expound and to just live your purposeful life that you are here to live. We're not here to live a life of being depressed and stressed, and we're here to live life in abundance. But until you find that purpose, then you'll never know that, listen, it is available not just to Dustin, not just to Charmaine, it's available to everyone also. But until you take that step, until you tell yourself that you are ready, I am ready to make that move. Because remember, if you don't make that move, you'll never know what's on the other side for you. Keeping watching and looking, and don't, if you have the book, and it doesn't matter how the book looks, if you never turn a page, you'll never know what's in that book. Yeah. So action is very important for people to take action. In order for you to see growth, in order for you to change your own trajectory, you must take action. So we talk about call to reinvent. Reinvent. When you reinvent, it starts in the mind. It starts before things even happen, because now you're thinking about reinvention. What do I want for myself? What is on my vision board? What am I working towards? What I want to see happen for me in this month? What I want to see at the end of the year? So you're thinking about, you're reinventing things. So it begins in the mind. And it doesn't mean, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't mean that you fail, right? Because at least you know you're working towards something. Reinvention doesn't mean that, okay, if it never happened, you fail. It means that you're growing. Reinventing, you're growing there because you're doing something you've never done before, something new, right?
Yeah. Well, I
Okay.
mean, realistically, when it comes to rejection, right, it's usually just a
Mm-hmm.
redirection into something better or where you're meant to be,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, I mean, but we all don't just stumble across something and ace it right away. It takes time and energy and effort
Mm-hmm.
to do well. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with failure because there's growth in failure, right? So, and who says you're going to fail? The only time we realistically fail at the end of the day is when we give up on something. When we
Indeed.
give up on something, that's when we truly fail, right? But there's always signs and there's always learnings and lessons and everything that we do in order to grow.
Right. And like sometimes we have to learn and to know when it's time, identify when it is time for change. Because we can know when it's time for change. When you're so when something you're doing and there's nothing is happening and you're there and you're doing but not it's time. If it's not working, it's time for you to change, to do something different. Because if you're doing something in season and it's nothing is working out for you, it is telling you it's time for a change. Identify when it's time for a change and how to step into that season.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we don't know how to identify because we get so comfortable in the zone, we get so comfortable in the space that we're in, and we don't identify that, listen, this is not working for me. I think it's time for me now to make a change. It might be difficult, but at the end of it, you will not find yourself in the place that you were before. You'll find yourself in a better place. Would you say yes to that?
I agree.
Yes.
100%.
So it's very important. And when we talk about fear factor, fear factor, we talk about fear factor because we're talking about how your career calling and how to turn your purpose into prosperity. But when you look into this, you talk about all fear because fear stop us right from living our purpose, and then because of that we're not prosperous because fear hold us captive. Fear hold us in a position where we're just locked into a space because of fear, and fear comes in many different ways. So address how fear can keep people tied up to comfort zone.
Well, I think a lot of people are, fearful of failure, right? So a lot of people keep within their comfort zone for that reason. They don't step outside the comfort zone because they are saying, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? And
Mm-hmm.
so I know my comfort zone right now, so I'm going to stay within this little circle because if I step outside, look, I already know that I'm going to fail, so I might as well just stay here. And that's what I feel 85, 90% of us do really in life is that's why there are people out there who want something more. They do, they realistically do. But when it comes time, they don't go for it because they're scared of failure or their brain goes to, well, what if I fail? But how do we know, right? We're going to fail if we don't try. Right. And like I said, the
Mm-hmm.
only time we realistically do fail when we try something is if we give up. So, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, along the way as well, there are lessons, how do we get to that place to make sure that we do well or successful? Sometimes there are people who go to school and they go to nursing school and they fail an exam. But do you give up on that exam or do you keep trying until you pass it? Well, you likely keep trying until you pass it because that's what you really want to do in life. And so that is the same thing. It is, like I said, 85, 90% of people are stuck in their comfort zone because they are scared that they're going to fail at something. But how do we
Mm-hmm.
know? But it's all those self-limiting beliefs that we tell ourselves, right? Who told you that you're going to fail? Was it our parents that told us we were going to fail? Was it
Mm.
teachers? Was it our cousins? Was it our brother or sister? We weren't raised as children to know that we were going to fail. We were told we were going to fail through time and time again. So if we
Yeah.
did try something and we failed, we were punished for it. So we didn't want to try again, right?
Yes.
That's where we got those beliefs from. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's retraining those self-limiting beliefs to know that we can do something. And that is where that change occurs and to knowing we can do something and be successful at it.
Yes.
So, but staying within our comfort zone, it's interesting because people, like I said, want to have something more. They want to have a better life. They want to make more money, but they don't want to step outside their comfort zone because they feel like they're going to fail at it. So,
Mm.
okay, so it's like, okay, well, what do I do when I'm stuck here, right? And all we can do is have faith in ourselves, knowing that we can do what we are meant to do. Like we always talk about faith over fear. right? And
Mhm.
just go for it.
I know. And as you rightfully said, a lot of times it's what you heard when you were growing up. You were going to school, a teacher might tell you, oh, you won't do good at this. You in your home, your peers and stuff. And because of that, you believe the lie. But until you step out of that comfort zone and tell yourself that, listen, I can do this, I will try, you never know how you will get out of that zone. Don't let fear tie you up in a zone. And practical ways to overcome fear, sometimes community. Sometimes you can overcome because you have a community of people who you are around, who their thought, their mindset. So the mentorship also can help others to overcome their fear and taking small actions. Probably it's reading books, probably it's attending different sessions and stuff that helps you to overcome your fear that you have. And the line of fear protects comfort, right? But faith unlocks your calling. So, as they said, like, take a leap of faith. Faith unlocks your calling. And remember that it doesn't matter what is happening. It does not matter what is happening, but you have to learn to remember that fear protects your comfort, but faith unlocks your calling. And it's very important. So what do you want to happen for you? You want to know that you want to unlock your calling. You want to live into your purpose. You want to be prosperous. So you must do the things that will allow you to change that trajectory, change that mindset, and you can evolve, you can grow. And building prosperity with purpose, right? Building prosperity with purpose. When your purpose is skill aligned, like for example, you're doing something that you love, it is skill aligned, prosperity will follow, right?
Yeah, I agree.
When your purpose is skill aligned, prosperity will definitely follow. And a lot of people don't understand, like, don't worry about how you're going to get there. Purpose, once your skill align with it, the prosperity will definitely come. It's no if, no but, nor maybe. But creating an income through impacts, right? Using your gift, your stories. Like I watch you a lot of times, and I see, you're upbeat, you're speaking, you're telling people, you're telling them your story, using your own experience to help others as a nurse, right? So you're helping other nurse to let them know, listen, there is better out there for you. So you're using your experience, your story to help others. Explain that to someone, how you are using just your skills and your experience to just help others.
Yeah, I mean, it's no different than being, a nurse, right? So we are trained to help others, just like yourself as a healthcare worker, right?
Yes.
So we are ones to always support other people, whether it's emotionally, mentally, physically, when it comes to being a nurse. And so now with the transition of being a business owner, we are storytelling basically,
Mhm.
right? So why was it that I first began a story or an online business? What
Right.
made me want to move ahead with an online business and telling our story? A lot of people can relate to your story, right? The audience out there, those people out there, especially healthcare workers, coming from a healthcare background, there's a lot
Mhm.
of nurses out there who are feeling burnt out, feeling like they're missing out on time with their family. Maybe they lost a loved one. And so that is the purpose of the business that we have. Like you said, we are aligning our goals and what it is that we are doing with others out there. So that's where storytelling comes in handy, is because everyone can relate to either my story, your story,
Mhm.
somebody else's story, because there's billions of people in the world, but we all struggle with the
Yes.
same thing. And a lot of us, our struggles were living paycheck to paycheck at one point. Maybe some of us don't, some of us do maybe pay the bills
Yes.
and have extra money, which is great. There's a lot of people who have that, payday to payday, or, they have kids and they don't see them because they're so busy working. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of audiences out there who can relate to that as well. right? Or you might be working those 12 to 16-hour shifts, and never have time for yourself,
Right.
and so that's important too, that we have time for us, right? So that's where storytelling comes in handy, is because people can relate to us and want to follow. People don't necessarily follow you for an income or the money. People will follow you because they relate to your story and they want to be like you.
Yes, I love that. People will follow you, they love your story, and they want to be like you. And that is so true, because story is very important, because there's a lot of people out there who can resonate with my story, with your story, because they're living it. So they know what you're saying because they're living it on a day-to-day basis. So they don't have to ask you a second time, because they know what you're saying, because you know what, Charmaine is living it. As a healthcare worker, I said to people, I've been in healthcare for over 15 years, but I know I needed a change, I needed something, and I decided that I'm going to take that leap of faith. I'm going to make that step. I'm going to give myself an opportunity, give myself a chance. And yes, I did. And because I did, now I'm living a better lifestyle, right? And I can help others, because if you're not helping others, it doesn't make any sense, because we're here to help others, supporting to others. But you must be ready, you must be ready, you must be ready. And like, what, like, for example, you're giving yourself an opportunity. Some people say, okay, this online business, okay, what if it doesn't work? What if I come in it, Dustin, and it doesn't work for me? It's working for you, but what if it does work, you know?
Right. Well, that's the question that I always like to ask people in return. Who is telling
Yes.
you it's not going to work, right? Where is that fear coming from? So how do you know? Like, can you tell me why it's not going to work for you? Why wouldn't it work for you? It's working for me, so why wouldn't it work for you? I'm
Right.
not telling you it's not going to work for you. So that's the number one thing that I like to ask people when they come to me with that question. How do I know it's
Mhm.
going to work for me? Well,
Right.
it's working for me and it's working for 260,000 other people out there. So why is it not going to work for you? But I like to always put that back on the individual, right? Tell me why you feel that way. Tell me why it's not going to work out for you. And if they list all the reasons, well, how do they know where are all these reasons coming from? Because they
Mhm.
yet haven't gone into what we have to offer them. Example, training, all those things that you can
Mhm.
list off, right? So how do you know you're not going to do well? You haven't even done anything yet. So of course you're not going to do well, because you haven't even started.
Definitely.
Right? So who's telling you you're not going to do well? So I always love to put it back on these people when they come to me with that. I'm not going to do well. I'm scared I'm going to fail. Well, who's telling you you're going to fail other than yourself? I'm not telling you you're going to fail,
Mhm.
right? But where is that coming from? There is a deep rooted sense. There's a deep rooted reasoning on why you feel like you're going to fail. You haven't even started.
Definitely. And when you make that decision to start, telling yourself, okay, what if it does work? That changes everything. It
Well, it
changes the
opens.
whole scenario, the whole concept.
Right. It opens so many other doors, you
Yes.
know? But the thing was, it's interesting, right? Because I was such an individual who would always be that way. I would always tell myself I'm going to fail at something.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be the worst person, right? I would start education. I would get 2 weeks in and then I would quit. I'd start another degree or education. I would quit. I was so the one to tell myself that I wasn't good enough.
Mm.
And then it just came to the point where I was just like, I have to do this. I needed a degree for one, and nursing was calling at that point. And
Mm-hmm.
so, but also too, what I feel happened is that I went to school. I did very well in nursing. I passed, I graduated, I did nursing for 16 years, but that also gave me the trajectory and the confidence to try something else. And that was this, right? That was this business, because I
Mm-hmm.
got through nursing. So I'm like, well, I got through nursing, so why can't I get through this? And
Yes.
that's also what I try to tell people. Did you not get through your education? Was your
Mhm.
education easy? Did it take time and energy? Of course it did. But then a lot of people say that I don't have extra time to do this business. Well, the beauty of this business, it was built and it was created for flexible people. No one is telling you to sit here and say that you need to spend 24/7 on a business to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
I sure didn't. I was going to school full time. I was working. I had family. I had homework. I had so much on my plate. But also, too, like you said, my purpose was so much more than
Mm-hmm.
this business, because
Yes.
I really wanted to change. And so I put everything into this business to see it through.
Yes, and once you have that mindset where your purpose is it's so strong, you're looking forward. You're not looking at just where you're seen. You're looking beyond that level because you know the change is coming. Only if you keep going, like you said, you tried so many different stuff, schools, and you stop, but you had to come to a point where you tell yourself like, I must complete something, and that's when you will see the change. Stopping halfway won't work. You must go in and you must do what you have to do. You have to take the step. You have to work at it. Put effort, put time in it, and then you will see results. You will see changes. It will come. And from stability to significance. Like it's like you're talking about the defining the difference between stability and survival. Like stability is survival, yes, and the difference is significance. It's a service of an impact. Like some people are there, they're like, okay, stability, they want stability. Because as I was saying to someone today, like you're at your job, but everybody can be replaced. You can be replaced. How about building something while you're there? Try to build something for yourself. We look at so many people who were out of a job, wasn't getting any paycheck. I think it's the federal workers, right? And so much that they were going through over here in the US. But they still had things to do, but they didn't have a backup plan. And because of that, they were hurting deeply. Their family were hurting too. They wasn't going up with a paycheck, but they still had the bills to pay. They still had everything to take care of. And because of that, these things will put people in depression. And I think it's important to have a backup plan. It's very important to have a backup plan. So we're
Of
here
course.
to tell you, yes, it is important. And how to live in your purpose and to make a difference beyond yourself. And we're making a difference beyond ourselves. You know why? Because we're helping others. We're helping others to start this same online business that we are doing. We're not keeping it to ourselves, we're helping others. So, Dustin, as I'm closing right now, if you're going to catch us in a replay or you're watching us live, what would you say to someone? Encourage them with your story, your journey, and that your voice matters. You're speaking to them right now. Your story, your journey, and your voice. Your voice, it really matters. You're speaking to them. They're listening to you. They're logging to you, and they're locked in right now, listening to you. What
Yeah.
you have to tell them. It's yours. Go ahead.
Oh
Take it
my
up.
God.
Yes.
Well, I think we're both here for that exact same reason, not just myself, but yourself,
Yes.
right? So, I always tell people, at the end of the day, it's all about what it is that you need for yourself, right? If you're looking for a change and you need that change, then why not further investigate and do your due diligence on something?
Yes.
So I'm not here to always force somebody to do something
Mhm.
different. I'm not here to say this is what you have to do. All I have to say is, if you're following myself, you're following Charmaine, something resonates, you're curious about what it is that we do, then why not reach out and send us a message, right? Nobody out there is telling you that you cannot do something more than your 9 to 5 job or that your career. For me, I always say to people, if you're a healthcare worker, if you're a parent, if you're a professional and you're looking for something more than your 9 to 5, then reach out, because this business right now, it literally is changing lives by the minute. And we see it day in and day out. Especially with what's going on right now in November, right? With our promotion, right? Your very first sale, you can make up to $4,100. That to me is insane. I've been around in this business, for 6 years, and that's never happened. And so we're always trying to encourage people. If you're wanting to start something now, then the time is now. Right. So I always say as well, faith over fear, right? You'll never know unless you try it. So that is
Yes.
that.
Faith over fear. So you're hearing from Dustin himself. You're hearing from Coach Dustin himself. He's saying it to you. You can find him on Facebook. He's there. I think he's on YouTube too. You can look him up. You can find him. You can just let him know that you're ready. I heard you, I watch you, I listen to you, and I want to know more. I'm ready. He's available. He will guide you, he will hold your hand, and he's a coach. Listen, you cannot get better than that. So reach out to him and he will help you along this journey. As he just told you, there's a promotion going on, and this promotion is a promotion. He has been in this business for over 6 years and you have never seen this promotion. So don't let this promotion miss you. Reach out to him. I heard you talking about that promotion. I want to know more about it because I really want to get on board now. Listen, don't start next year. This is 2025. We have 1 month plus left because we're in the month of November.
Can't believe it.
Listen, you gotta get on board now. Don't let 2026 come and you're not in. You cannot let the boat miss you. Big thing is happening online. Money move online. So if you want to grow, you want to leave legacy for your family, you want to live the life you desire to live, you want to be able to have the lifestyle that you desire, money move online. So tap in the online space. We are affiliate marketers. We help like-minded people to become affiliate marketers like us. We help them to start their own affiliate marketing business. We help them, we teach them, we guide them, we support them. We're a community. We are not the person who's going to leave you behind. So come on board. Don't let fear block your purpose. Don't let fear block your prosperity, right? So you heard from Coach Dustin tonight, and you heard from Charmaine. Reach out to me if you want to know more. I'm available also. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Shoot me a message, and I'm able to connect with you. Don't settle for stability. Strive for significance. Don't wait for the perfect time because there's no perfect time. The time is now. NOW. The time is now. Do not wait for the perfect time. If something speaks to you tonight, don't just let it inspire you, right? Let it activate you to take action, right? Please ensure to follow us. And on my next live is coming up very soon, and you don't want to miss that one coming up. So the next time, remember, keep growing, keep believing, and always rise limitlessly. So you're hearing from me and my wonderful coach over here, and we will see you. You're going to catch us in a real play. Share this with someone. Remember, if this is not for you, if you know someone who is really looking for a change and want to become an online business owner, we're here to guide them. Share this live with them. Let them know that you saw Coach Dustin and Charmaine on a live, and it was very inspiring, and it activated that thing in you that was dead, and now you really want to take action. We're here to guide you. We're here to help you along your journey. So reach out to us, connect with us. Thank you for watching wherever you're watching from. We thank you, and also have a wonderful night, morning, wherever you are, and take care, and see you on the next live. Bye. Thank you, Coach. Thank you so much. And it's a pleasure to have you to share your insights, your journey, and your story with the viewers tonight. Thank you again. Greatly appreciated. Bye, everyone.
Hey, guys.